saa moment metwam aba
So you're watching live video from Koforidua where the NPP is
so
getting
the traffic
ready.
you see on your streets currently is not on any major street here at Koforidua, but right inside the Koforidua Technical University, where the ruling New Patriotic Party is currently waiting or putting preparations ahead of tomorrow's conference, and a lot of people are trooping in. The place is getting busy all the time, and as we wait for the delegates and the aspirant to come in, businesses have taken the opportunity to cash in a lot. But then we will be talking or be engaging few of the supporters from the ruling the ruling New Patriotic Party to find out from them where they are coming from in particular. Good afternoon, you are welcome to TV3.
Good afternoon, sir.
Alright, now let me find out from you, where exactly are you coming from?
We are from Amansea West, Mansouadubia.
Mansouadubia, and what is your main reason for coming here today?
We are here for the election, that is National Congress, NPP.
Okay, are you supporting any particular candidate?
Well, we have our ambition to vote for those who help the party and Ghana as a whole. But we have a candidate.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that which candidate in particular are you supporting?
Yeah.
Which candidates Ben are you supporting? Why not what candidates Ben?
Well, to declare
party Ben are you supporting?
Me declare me support by this time the kakra.
Okay.
Because me chairman you will not be a me so na me youth organizer. Ti me be prem ho de no ma be gu yoma. Em say na man fa ni di anye dey. Yeah.
Youth organizer for this region or
no, Mansouadubia constituency.
Okay.
My name is Bright Osu Afuakwa.
Okay. All right. There are lots more here whom we will be talking to. Thank you very much for your time. So let's talk to a few others as well to find out from them the reason for which they are here today. Good afternoon, sir. And you are welcome to TV3 Midday Live.
Good afternoon.
Okay, clearly you are here for the conference, but then Mami Misa say, but I be pantina banum say, why entina obahanum say ne?
Okay, Mpacho, Ginte was here the general national election intina Koforidua. If the Mansouadubia, Amansea South.
Okay.
And nearby.
Okay, now buy near memu at the same amount. You are showing me
Koforidua, back Koforidua, the name Boko, Bibia kama. Police for one na or my there Bob and Kama soldiers and Bibia here Jumakama.
Okay, eti what expectations and I say also see Emma Yami had much in the main conference Nankasa and saying
Nipacho said I can't see any dear. I can't see any dear, said yes, economy. I know what enti Obia obet me a number bonbia in a betanichi because I can't end the meeting predator say as soon as Sibina, but the Obinia Bia and in a Bay Juma.
Okay, yeah, that's CP. So, like he said, at the moment he can't really declare his support for anyone, but then they are just all hoping that tomorrow during the main conference, the best people will emerge winners for the conference. But then there are lots more here. We will be engaging them. Good afternoon.
Oh, Master Trina.
Okay, Trina.
Yeah.
Okay, and you say conference 19 say, but what expectations and I say Emma conference in Yami had much na nkasa anything.
Expectation edi kan emphasis dama asaforade wo bambo ne nkanko de amaye send dey nso abeto yen
ye ntienti amaye
na ye ntienti me grassroots communicator e wo Eastern region e frame Azizi na me expectation ye ba chairmanship dey am patcho 17 all the way Steven team and a national organizer so no me patcho and there is John Boedu but youth organizer dey me patcho na B and e ba women's wing no so da me patcho kejemfo na ko na fe so hwe se na impanimfo a wo Eastern region han ye especially regional can say minister Kwachidafo and impanimfo to say David Pram money Jeff no no say na ma organize occasion na utumu say ye pa into onyame onhira wo na fe so ye sre delegate for say obi na say aho eba so obi an comfort no do say obi obi candidate en win ya na no nche say MPP e mu acheche so what say after election e nyina busuan ba ko nti enhwe ne fa yie entutu yie papa.
So he has been able to declare his support for some particular candidate, and he's cautioning everyone to be very careful and hoping that everything goes well for the party tomorrow during its conference. So that is what we have for you for now here at the Koforidua Technical University. My name is Kwabena Edu Jemfi, TV3.
And of course, we will be bringing you more from Koforidua. But let's now turn our attention to MTN Video Report today, where our citizen journalist Ata Agri Kafaru highlights that this party criticizes MPP for monies aspirants spent on posters and banners to market themselves in the lead up to the party's National Delegates Conference. We'll be bringing you more on that. Do stay with us in the next hour as we bring you more. In our very first story, the NPP held its delegates conference in Koforidua on Saturday, where acting chairperson Freddie Blay was elected as substantive national chairman. He beat closest contender Stephen Ntim, and lecturer Professor Ba John Bredu was also elected as general secretary with Samuel Uku as national organizer. The youth organizer position went to Nana Boache and Nasara coordinator going to Abdul Aziz Futa. Other national executives were elected. The president, in a statement yesterday, congratulated the new executives and called for unity. A Thanksgiving service was held in Koforidua on Sunday. The NPP, as we're saying, held its delegates conference in Koforidua on Saturday, where acting chairman Freddie Blay was elected as substantive national chairman. He beat closest contender Stephen Ntim, and law lecturer Professor Ba John Bredu was also elected as general secretary with Samuel Uku as national organizer. The youth organizer position went to Nana Boache and Nasara coordinator going to Abdul Aziz Futa. Other national executives were elected. The president, in a statement yesterday, congratulated the new executives and called for unity. Now, more from that conference, and a representative of the UK Conservative Party, John Hayward, has criticized the NPP for the monies aspirants spent on posters and banners to market themselves in the lead-up to party's National Delegates Conference. In his solidarity message at the conference on Saturday, John Hayward said he saw more party posters than delegates taking part in the conference.
I came through the streets today and I saw so many posters of the wonderful candidates here in today's conference. But I had to reflect. I think I saw more posters than there are delegates here in the conference. And I wondered, is this really the best use of our resources? I have a lesson from the Conservative Party, which is voters like parties which focus on the voters. Voters are less keen on parties that focus on their internal processes. This is an important lesson the Conservative Party has had to relearn many times over the decades, and I hope that you can benefit from my experience as I encourage you to go forth from here today and focus your time, your efforts, and your resources on reaching out to the voters of Ghana, to reaching out and engaging with your communities in each of your regions, to listening to their concerns and ensuring that their concerns are represented in your hopes for prosperity and development in freedom for Ghana.
Now let's look at some other stories. And members of the communications team of the Ghana Federation of Disability Organization, William Alexander, has called on government to implement existing laws regarding the proper care and treatment of persons with disability in society. He spoke on New Day.
The effort has been extremely difficult. Now it's been difficult because actually when you look at duty bearers and then you want to look at specific duty bearers as in the state entities for implementing or supervising the implementation of provisions in the Disability Act, you would indeed presume that okay, you can engage government, push government to do proper supervision or implementation of the law for us to be able to run smoothly. But the difficulty lies with the fact that it cannot take just some few establishments to ensure that the law or the provisions in the law are indeed implemented. It takes almost everybody.
So let's still stay on issues of the physically challenged as a student Samuel Aboga Zigli encounters more challenges on his journey home to Seshi in the Western region after going through numerous setbacks on campus. In the concluding part of Spencer Kwabnabuachi, in this story, Journey to the West reveals much more toil Samuel goes through even at home.
Samuel is in Kumasi, the capital of the Ashanti region. The Metro Mass Terminal at Aprepo Junction is not disability friendly. 2 years after the transitional period, the terminal still contravenes Section 28 of the Act. Unfortunately for Samuel, he has to use the old MMT bus, which means he will use his wheelchair with difficulty.
It remains difficult for us to change buildings which have been with us for quite a long while, but on principal streets of major cities here in the country, authorities have put in place pavements suitable for persons with disability. The problem, however, is that here at Sofoline in the Kumasi metropolis of the Ashanti region, traders have taken over pavements, and even more, some drivers have turned pavements as parking space. These problems are not confined to the Garden City alone. Throughout the country, pavements prove as battlefields for persons with disability.
While on the journey to the West, the driver has to ensure Samuel's wheelchair is safe and at the same time protect the lives of 60 other passengers on board. Samuel is home. His mother narrates the story behind his disability.
No yale na mne ko doctor na mbone pane ne basa ti e bae no na me de ne ku me bekata papa ne say pane na obo no no ama mba na ni namu aye yinti ya emle e ho na o say me nimu adwuma ni afi na me be chere adwuma no ka sa na me ko fie nti me koye no o mi sama sembi abio mi so ye duro sa so de ye ya na ye nti etomle bi papa bi no mama me krata se asafo doctor omo ye broni bi ye odua nkwanta nti ye kodua nkwanta ne to aso be mienu no mo se sade a o mewie school so mewie school ni mu wie na awodin ni ho nti mentimi ankobiom.
A professional medical practitioner owed Same a duty of care. According to Amada Tani, Same's mother, that duty of care was breached by the doctor when he allegedly injected Same with an inappropriate medication. Amma tells me that she didn't know a court of competent jurisdiction could have awarded them a compensation if successful in the lawsuit. Or perhaps she just couldn't afford the services of a lawyer.
Samuel works with his uncle every vacation to raise funds for his education since childhood and after the death of his father.
This Midday, the school they don't very agro. Yes, you use Anson as a buano. Intino, Sami school there, a bushia there, yet an achieve me a day there. Nanso, Obi what is an wise or school there, Nanya say. yeyinema ntino ba bia be ko bia no sa me de ye ne na sa adwuma we ye ne na start be bla wo primary school nyina be si sabli.
So let's go back to issues of the NPP conference in Koforidua. Obviously held its conference, and there were a number of speakers from political parties giving them some goodwill messages. Now, the NDC, the largest opposition party, did not show up at this conference. We have on the line the General Secretary of the NDC, Johnson Esiodun Ketia. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Ketia.
Good afternoon, my sister.
So there were a number of parties giving the NPP their goodwill messages at the conference. Your party was not there. Why?
Yeah. Oh, I think it is obvious. You know that we lost our former deputy leader in the person of Vice President Amisata. And we did not get the invitation card in good enough time to be able to at least delegate anybody from the region to go and maybe perhaps represent us or send our apologies.
Yeah, hold on a bit for me. You say you did not receive the invitation early, but virtually everybody in this country knew that the NPP was going to have its conference, and you know that as a matter of process, all the parties give goodwill messages. So you should have known that you would be invited to give a message.
Oh, my sister. We don't prepare for funds to which we are not invited. And indeed, let me make this point clear for you. If there is anybody, any general secretary who is interested in this type of inter-party solidarity, I don't see anybody who has shown inter-party solidarity better than my good self. I'm the only general secretary, when you take the two main parties, I'm the only general secretary who has ever attended the Congress of our opposing side. I was the first person to do it. And my track record shows that I am present at almost every MPP function, not alone, not just congresses, but funerals and many other things. And when we are approaching such an event, and I don't have my invitation card, I even call to demand that they should bring it, because I believe that when I go there, it becomes unpleasant for them. But that is my cup of tea. So if for the reason of the passing of our deputy leader, I'm not able to go, and I've even told, I sent my regrets through no less a person than Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, who met me at the 1 week celebration. I told him, thanked him for being present. I indicated to him that the way things are, he should send our regrets, but we will not be able to attend. I'm surprised that they will proceed and then go and be mentioning NDC without any explanation, to get the impression that NDC is boycotting NPP funds.
But Ms. Anketi, are you saying that you couldn't even get anybody from the regions, I mean in the Eastern NPP office in the Eastern region to attend the program? If indeed it's a matter of principle that you should be there.
I've told you that we were not going to be able to do it because of the funeral. And we sent our apologies through His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, that he should communicate to Congress that we will not be able to come because of this problem. You remember that the 1 week celebration was done in the late afternoon of Friday. You understand? And if Dr. Bawumia was present, it's not as if I called him on phone. I approached him courteously, thanked him for being present at the funeral, and indicated to him that because of these challenges, we will not be able to be there. At least if we are called at Congress, and you are sitting there, even if you had forgotten that, I did tell you that, and we are called, NDC is mentioned, don't you think that you should indicate to Congress that the General Secretary of NDC has told us their inability to be present today because of something.
So going forward now, do you believe that this is some sort of precedent for this kind of inter-party cohesion?
It cannot be a precedent unless they want to demonstrate that they are callous. They are insensitive to our plight. Look, when Ali Muhammad died, we suspended all our activities for more than 1 week. Attended the funeral, got him buried before we came back. When the day his death was announced, I was with President Mahama on the campaign trail in Bongahafu. We suspended everything. We are not saying that they should suspend, but if we tell you that we have a difficulty, we cannot attend it. You go to the function there, everybody is talking as if you are so affected by the death of Amisata, and you couldn't even call Congress to observe a minute silence in his memory.
Very well.
And when we have indicated to you that because of these challenges we are not able to come, you are so insensitive that you wouldn't even communicate it to Congress, just to create the impression that we don't want to be present, we are boycotting your event and so on. So all this show of remorse and solidarity and so on by them, I see it as crocodile tears. Because their conduct does not indicate that they are insensitive to the death.
Thank you very much, Mr. Thank you. Your point has been well made. Thank you very much. That was the General Secretary of the NDC, Johnson Esiedin Ketia. And we've been talking to him about the NPP delegates conference where the NDC did not show up to give their solidarity messages. At this very election, Freddie Blay was elected as chairperson of the party. He beat closest contender Stephen Ntim and law lecturer Professor Ban. John Bwedu was also elected as general secretary with Samir Uku as national organizer. The youth organizer position went to Nana Boache and Nasara coordinator went to Abdul Aziz Futa. Other national executives were elected. Now, the president in the statement yesterday congratulated the new executives and called for unity. Dr. Edward Brenya is a senior lecturer at the Department of History, Political Science at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. He's just joined us on the line to discuss the issue of money in campaign and politics. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Brenya.
Good afternoon.
Now, so at this point where some have said that we've almost hit a crescendo in terms of money, excessive money in politics, what should be done at this particular point?
Good afternoon to everyone listening to TV3. I think that it's unfortunate that politics is now monetized. What it means is that we stand at the risk of losing true representation from candidates that we may vote for. But I believe strongly that if the government somehow can put measures in place, we should realize or take cognizance of the fact that giving money to someone to vote for you is part of electoral malpractices. So if government in a way can't put in place some sort of state funding of political parties, either by way of directly providing money for them or allowing the political parties to solicit money from people, just as done in the U.S., that could actually be accounted for, so that those people that provide the money may enjoy some sort of tax relief. I think that could help the government to implement the law of ensuring that if you misappropriate funds or give money to people to influence the ballot process, that you could be prosecuted.
So in essence, you're saying that the state should regulate party politics funding.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Now, so should this come from the state, or should the political parties themselves also put in place some structures to enable a level playing field for all candidates?
I think it should be from the state. It should be from the state, an independent organization from the state that would ensure the implementation of that law. If we leave it with the political parties, it's going to be a problem.
Now, so in this country, where we've seen a lot of laws being made, and then the issue of implementation comes out. The laws would be made, but then nobody would police it. What about that? Even if these laws are put in place, what's the guarantee that it would work or it would be policed effectively?
That is where the state has to be serious to make sure that we strengthen our institutions and make sure that we allow the law to rule. It's unfortunate. It looks as if we're saying, well, since the laws are not going to rule, then we should let things like that. No. That we're a nation of laws, and laws are to get to that point, then we might be repeating the mistakes of yesterday.
Right, now, thank you very much, Dr. Edward Bringer. He is a lecturer at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology in Political Science. Now, the minority in Parliament has asked the national chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Freddie Blay, to relinquish his position as the board chairman of the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation for an independent forensic audit into the accounts of the corporation. Now, according to the minority MPs, they are alarmed by the historic levels of excessive extravagance by Freddie Blay in his campaign that led to his election as the party's chair in last Saturday's national executive elections in Koforidua. In a statement signed by the ranking member of the Mines and Energy Committee, Adam Mutawakilu, indicates that for someone who manages the country's oil and gas reserves, one would have expected the highest form of modesty and prudence in outlook. So joining us on the phone line is Adam Mutawakilu, who is the ranking member of the Mines and Energy Committee. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Mutawakilu. Hello. Yes. Good afternoon to you.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Right. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, so you are saying that Freddie Blay should be removed as the chairperson of the GNPC. Now, he has said that he did acquire a loan in order to purchase those vehicles. Now, is it that you do not believe him, or you think that it is not right for a loan to be purchased to do that?
Yeah, let me be very clear. We are not talking of a loan. The loan is $11.4 million.
So what are you talking about?
Yeah, he has personally guaranteed, and you know what guarantee means, with an amount of $3 million as an individual. Are you with me?
Yes, I understand.
It's not it's the guarantee that he personally has doled out $3 million as an individual.
So are you questioning the legal basis of that as in that he can't have $3 million? We know Honorable Freddie Blay today. This is not the first time of his team contesting for a position. In 2014, he contested for vice chairmanship position. We all know how much did he spend. Did you hear of any expenditure? In 2015, when he was the acting chairman of MPP, Prudential Bank nearly sold their head office because MPP owed Prudential Bank about 2 million Ghana cedis. He was the acting chairman. Why couldn't he have come to salvage MPP in that respect? So we follow his activities. And now we follow him when he has been appointed as the board chairman of the National Oil Company, that is GNPC. And he could get $3 million. So in essence, what are you saying?
It raises a lot of flags. And the oil industry is a complex industry. You must know it's full of a lot of issues. So all red flags must be flagged. So being the chairman, the board chairman, where this year alone, $300 million is to be used by GNPC for its work program for 2008, and he, the board chairman, going in opulence, we have a question mark there.
So in essence, you are saying that Mr. Blay is siphoning money from the GNPC to do...
No, we are calling for forensic audit so that we'll be able to ascertain, to clear up that red flag.
Right.
2, it sends a signal, especially when the sitting president embrace that and go ahead to openly support him. That means the president is endorsing opulence to the point that even the Britain Conservative Party representative had to forget of his own statement, commented on the opulence and open profligate expenditure that was going on. We in the minority have consensus some of the issues in relation to the work program. So we have raised it in March 2018.
Mr. Mutawakile, so who have you petitioned in this statement?
We have released the press statement. Government, media being the fourth arm of government, has listened, and I think the president will do the right thing. If he doesn't do it, in the last paragraph of the statement, we indicated we'll seek for alternative actions to take.
Which would be?
It could be a lot. We'll do extensive consultation, not only NDC members and minority, but even civil society organization, individuals who have these concerns. We'll discuss those alternatives with them, and the most viable ones will come up with them.
Thank you very much. That was Adam Mutawakile. He's the ranking member on the Committee on Mines Energy in Parliament. You're watching Midday live on TV3. Now on to our citizen journalist for today. Darlington Kenya throws a spotlight on a water situation at Long in the Eastern region.
This is Pong, and this is the main pipeline that transports water from the Pong headworks to Tema. This situation has been like this for the past 3 months. It might interest the general public to know that the spot from which treated water is gushing out to the Pong headworks is just about 2 kilometers. Obviously, treated water gushing out like this is at the end of the day going to be surcharged to the consumer. Only God knows when authorities of the Pong headworks will be attending to this waste. For TV3 News, Darlington Kanye, Pong.
Thank you very much, Darlington. You can also send your video reports via WhatsApp platform 055-143-3044. That's 055-143-3044. And when you're sending, do send your name and also where you're reporting from. This is Midday Live on TV3. We'll be right back. You're welcome back. Let's now do business. The Ghana Export Promotion Authority says exporters who use inaccurate data for both the manual and online export declaration forms risk dire sanctions, including a possible revoking of their licenses. The Chief Executive Officer of the authority, Ifua Asari, says the practice has resulted in the capture of wrong data with values far lower and sometimes far above the actual values.
The Ghana Exports Promotion Authority says it has observed that exporters or freight forwarders enter data onto the online exports declaration system with little circumspection. In other cases, the freight forwarders fail to present duly completed or assessed exports forms to the customs long room, which does not have online data capture system. On a recent visit to customs exit points to gather and take delivery of manually completed and duly assessed export forms for 2018, the Ghana Exports Promotion Authority observed there were piles of export forms dating as far back as 2013, 2015 and 2017. It is in this light that the Ghana Exports Promotion Authority is collaborating with the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders and the Customs Division of GRA to organize sensitization programs in all district offices of the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders across the country to address the issues of inaccurate data entry and data loss. At a sensitization workshop for freight forwarders on the need to protect and ensure transmission of accurate export data, CEO of Ghana Exports Promotion Authority, Ifua Asari, said her outfit believes actual export earnings are higher than what is captured. Hence, she said with circumspection on the part of freight forwarders to key in accurate data, the country will shore up in its revenue at the ports. Chairman of the Takoradi District Office of the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders, William Kujo Johnson, said the entry of inaccurate data is not done on purpose.
While still in business, former President John Agyekum Kufuor has challenged foreign investors to diversify their approach to identifying areas to invest in Ghana. This, he said, will enable them identify specific areas of the economy, such as education, to invest in. He said this when the president of the China Export International Business School, Professor Pedro Nunu, called on him at his residence in Accra.
The World Bank advised the government of Ghana to increase investment in the education sector to help produce more quality human resource that will bring to reality the country's growth aspirations. Speaking during a courtesy call paid him by the China-Europe International Business School, CEBS, at his residence in Accra, former President Kufuor said he was pleased with Professor Nunu's vision for Africa. On his part, President of the China-Europe International Business School, CEBS, Professor Pedro Nunu, Ghana's conducive environment and business climate has improved over the years. On behalf of CEBS Africa, Professor Nunu made a donation of 10,000 Ghana cedis to the John Agyekum Kufuor Foundation, an endowment fund aimed at sustaining the vision of the former president. Professor Nunu led a delegation of 25 business executives from Spain, referred to as the Harvard Group. They are in Accra to gauge the progress that CEBS has made since its establishment in Africa and explore business opportunities.
Now let's go on to the market and check the prices of key commodities as they have increased at various local markets visited by TV3 Business over the last 1 week. Isoko, an information and communication service provider for agricultural markets in Africa, explains that prices are expected to remain high for the next month.
Market price data and analysis for the month of June indicated a rise in commodity market prices. Key commodities have continued to make gains. The highest gain of 14% was made by yam, Puna, rising to 692 Ghana cedis. Maize experienced an increase of 7.26% to close the month at 166 Ghana cedis per bag. Local rice also made a gain of 4.38% to close at 347 Ghana cedis, with cowpea gaining 3.63% to close at 379 Ghana cedis. Groundnut, millet, wheat and imported rice all saw an increase in price. Tomato, however, experienced a significant reduction of 28%. The general trend of price increases for most commodities is expected to continue in August. Traders say the trend has been higher than anticipated for this year.
Both the old and the new yam are expensive.
Last month, one alone can
5.
And this month, Abbas
7 cedis.
1 tuber of new yam, how much is it?
It's 15 cedis. This year is different. This year has been different. Prices have gone too high.
Content manager at Isoko explains that the price increase is a seasonal occurrence. He assures Ghanaians of a reduction in prices in the market in August during the harvest season.
Around this period, you see almost all the cereals moving up. This is because the stock that we had in the previous season are virtually used up, and so demand and supply comes in, and then prices usually moves up around this period.
The commodity price index tracks the prices of key agricultural commodities across the country.
The Ashanti Regional Chairman of the National Peace Council, Professor Stephen Opunie-Siama, has suggested that the mining sector be included in the work of the Public Interest and Accountability Committee. At a forum in Kumasi, he underscored the need for proper monitoring and use of funds in the sector.
The public engagement was to sensitize participants on how Ghana's petroleum revenue has been managed over the past 7 years. The Public Interest and Accountability Committee, PIAC, revealed that the country has raked in over $4 billion from oil revenue since its production started in 2011. In 2017, $555.3 million was generated from the petroleum sector, of which 202 million cedis was spent on the free SHS, out of which the 332 million Ghana cedis utilized from the annual budget funding account, APFA. 403 million cedis out of the 736 million cedis allocated for the APFA was used as at the end of 2017. This, according to PIAC, suggests budget non-compliance on the part of the Finance Ministry. The committee wants Parliament to take steps to ensure that the minister does not overspend the approved budget. The Ashanti Regional Chairman of the National Peace Council, Professor Seth Opuni Esiama, commended PIAC for its work, advocated that the mining sector should be included in its work.
Who tells me how much we are getting in mining? We don't know. Everybody says, oh, Minerals Commission, Minerals Commission. Who is holding Minerals Commission to account to ensure that Minerals Commission itself will tell us how much money they themselves are getting out of mining? Go to all our mining towns. Go to BBNE. Go to Konongo. Go to Takwa. Go to Obuasi. And what is there to show that for all these years we've mined gold in these towns? Because nobody is watching over it for us. But the people of this country deserve to know how much is happening.
PIAC is urging government to initiate steps to delineate Ghana's maritime border with Togo in respect of the East Keta Ultra Deep Block.
And that's all we have in business. Let's now look at some more news stories. Now, the Electoral Commission officials who petitioned the president that led to the removal of the former EC boss Charlotte Osei, hence they are in the process of forwarding unnecessary documents to the Office of the Special Prosecutor for further investigations and possible prosecution. The 16 remaining petitioners made this known in Accra at a media briefing.
There are many contracts which she awarded without recourse to process of law, and we are willing to cooperate with the Office of the Special Prosecutor to investigate each and every contract to bring her to book in instances where she is found culpable. 11. Ladies and gentlemen, we at the Electoral Commission would like to say that we have seen the removal of office of Ms. Charlotte Osei. We like her removal and it makes us happy. We are so sure these words are very familiar to her and fellow Ghanaians. In line with this, we wish to state that we shall use all legal means available to us to ensure that her removal is permanent and cast in stone. We believe it should serve as a source of inspiration to many others to advance the cause of our nation by bringing public office holders to book when they act against the laws of our land. No one is above the law, and Ms. Charlotte Osei is no exception. We also would like to thank our legal team, Mr. Kwame Boateng, Mr. Maxwell Opoku-Agyemang, Mr. Eric Otredakon, Mr. Julius Opoku-Agyei, Mr. Raphael Kweku Owusu-Agyemang for their dedication to our cause.
And on that note, let's take a break. When we return, we have sports with Afre. Africa's former president, Jacob Zuma, has been charged with corruption in a court in the commercial city of Johannesburg. Duduzane Zuma is alleged to have been part of attempts to bribe a former deputy finance minister to agree to a top role in government. The allegation is related to the activities of the controversial Gupta family, who are accused of exerting undue influence over President Zuma. All parties deny any wrongdoing. In 2015, former Deputy Finance Minister claimed that they had been offered the position of Finance Minister and a bribe of 600 million rand during a meeting with Duduzane Zuma, businessman Fana Halenwara and Aja Gupta. Cave divers in Thailand have resumed their high-risk operation to extract the remaining 8 boys and their football coach from a vast flooded cave system. Ambulances have been seen leaving the cave entrance amid unconfirmed reports that more boys have been rescued. 4 boys were brought out safely on Sunday, but the mission was paused overnight for air tanks to be replaced. The boys were trapped in the cave on 23 June after heavy rains caused flooding, but found alive last week by divers. Rescuers decided to go ahead with the operation to free them because of fears that waters would rise again. The rescue is complicated by sections in the cave involving diving, sometimes in a very confined space, and climbing. The names of the rescued boys have not been released out of respect for the families whose sons were still inside. They have not been returned to their own families, the mission chief added. The leaders of Ethiopia and Eritrea have signed a declaration saying that the state of war between the two countries is over. A peace deal ending the 1998-99 border conflict has never been fully implemented, and there's been no tension between the neighbors ever since. The countries have also agreed to re-establish trade and diplomatic ties. The declaration came at a landmark meeting between the two countries' leaders in Eritrea's capital, Asmara. And that's all for international news. Coming up shortly is entertainment. Afro-pop dancehall singer Stonebwoy thrilled thousands of patrons at the International Reggae Festival held at Cologne in Germany. Stonebwoy shared the stage with top acts and icons on the international reggae scene.
Show me your hand, then every hero. And we will say again, put up on your hand, put up on your hand. Put up on your hand, put up on your hand. Every hero, let us win. Mystery.
Started in 1986, the International Reggae Festival, Summer Jam, turned to be one of the biggest reggae events in Europe, which featured original reggae and black music bands from Jamaica and beyond.
Can I see Zimbabwe? Can I see Zambia? Can I see Gambia? Can I see Angola? Can I see Malawi? Can I see Mauritius? Can I see Congo? Any hand in the air right now? Say boy! If you love Afro music, say royo! If you love dance music, say pop, 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 pop. We're gonna do our shit together.
Ghana's sole rep at the International Reggae Festival was Stonebwoy.
I just say, because I want to say, people in the country of the South Sudan, I'm really speaking tongues right now. Do you want to speak in tongues? Okay, I'll teach you some tongues. And I listen.
He shared the stage with icons including Gentleman, Ziggy Marley, Inner Circle, Terrace Riley, Chris Martin, Jamil, and Charlie Black. It thrilled several thousands of music patrons who had gathered with his electrifying performance.
Now,